Some women do not vanish when they leave. They become a presence that lingers in the corridors of a man's mind, a shadow that appears in his quiet moments, a scent that returns without warning. She does not need to speak, because her absence says more than words could ever dare. In Jungian terms, she has stepped out of his conscious grasp and into the realm of his shadow, where desire, longing, and unfinished stories dwell. The archetypal woman. She is not simply a woman. She is an archetype, the anima that awakens something ancient within him. At first, he sees her through the lens of projection, shaping her into what he needs, what he lacks. She is a vessel for his unspoken dreams and his deepest fears. But when she withdraws, when her gaze no longer rests on him, the mirror he used to see himself begins to crack. Without a reflection, he is left facing his own emptiness. The first turning point, realization of loss. In the stillness of night, he replays her absence. The space where her voice used to live now hums with silence. This is not the silence of neglect. It is the silence of self-possession. He begins to feel the truth that Stoic philosophy whispers. No man can own what is free by nature. The more he tries to grasp her image, the more it slips through his fingers like water. The psychology beneath. Carl Jung wrote that what we reject in ourselves will return through others. She was a mirror to his hidden vulnerabilities, the gentleness he denied, the patience he lacked, the depth he feared. When she walked away, she took with her the chance to avoid himself. Now, in the absence of her light, he meets his shadow in full. This confrontation is not gentle. It is raw, unfiltered, and unrelenting. The second turning point, the shift in her. While he wrestles with the void, she walks in a different landscape. Her silence is not punishment, but preservation. She understands that attachment without self-respect is not love, but bondage. Through the lens of trauma psychology, she recognizes the old patterns that once kept her tethered. The compulsion to fix, to prove, to remain. This time, she chooses differently. She chooses herself. A moment of symbolic storytelling. Imagine a lone figure standing at the edge of a lake at dawn. The mist curls around her like secrets not meant for anyone else's ears. She does not turn back toward the shore. She looks only at the horizon. This is the image of individuation, the process by which she becomes whole, not by returning to him, but by returning to herself. In the quiet, she feels her own breath, hears her own heartbeat, and remembers her own name. The third turning point is awakening. One evening, he catches a fragment of her in the shape of another's movement, the sound of a laugh in a crowded place. But it is not her. It is the echo of what she represented, the missing part of himself. He begins to see that chasing her was never about her entirely. It was about filling the hollow places he refused to name. In this awareness, desire sharpens, but possession becomes impossible. The emotional tension builds. He wonders if she still thinks of him. But here lies the paradox. The more he wonders, the more power she holds. Not because she tries, but because she does not. Her mystery is not a performance. It is a natural result of a woman who no longer seeks validation in someone else's gaze. This is what makes her unforgettable. Empowerment through detachment. For her, detachment is not coldness. It is clarity. She understands that love is only real when it is freely given, and freedom can only exist when both stand whole. In Jung's terms, she has integrated her own shadow, the parts that once feared being alone, the parts that tolerated less than they deserved. Now, she walks with the calm gravity of someone who knows that silence can be the loudest answer. Closing liberation line. The woman who walks away in silence isn't weak. She simply sees more. She sees the patterns, the projections, the illusions, and chooses not to live inside them. In the end, her absence does not leave a void. It leaves a mirror, and what he sees in that reflection will haunt him far longer than her presence ever could.